Hello everyone and welcome back to our Football Manager 2017 experiment where we take a look at what would happen if the Belgian Pro League had a Premier League level TV deal. We're giving every club in the Belgian League £100 million every year to improve their squad and their club and hopefully climb up the league table. Now, last time we left off, the title went to Bruges. They have actually now won it several times in a row. If we look at the past winners, they've won it 3 years on the bounce. Standard Liège also won it. Anderlecht won it the first 5 years of this TV deal, but they didn't spend a single penny of that money. It's all disappearing somewhere, but I don't know where. But Club Bruges have been spending the money absolutely heavily, and it's given them an excellent position in the top three, winning the title now 3 times in a row, and also making the knockout stages of the Champions League, which is the first team a Belgian team has done that since we made the change to the database. Now today we're going to go forward 5 years in time. We're going to have a look at where the league title is going, because I'm assuming it's going to keep going to Club Bruges, and then we're also going to take a look at the European football, see where the team is there. We'll take a look at the transfers as well, and then from then on, I think we'll start to jump forward 10 years, maybe 15 years at a time, just to speed up the progression of this series. But let's jump forward 5 years now and have a look at where the Belgian League is. Well, we are now 5 years into the future. I've dropped back 5 years on the league screen. Important to note that at this point, every Belgian team has had £1.4 billion put into the club. That's more money than Manchester City have ever had. So if they're still not progressing, there are serious questions to be asked about the way these teams are run. But if we jump forward that 1 year, it's actually gone to Genk the title, given they finished 12 points off Club Bruges. What a sensational turnaround that is. Anderlecht finishing down in 6th place, but in the end, Genk managing to win it from 3 points over Standard Liège. Club Bruges must have absolutely bottled it at the end there to finish so low down. Anderlecht bottom of that group, which is not too surprising. They're really slipping us behind everybody else in the league. The year after that, Club Bruges did deservedly win the title. Top of the league table, top of the championship group, but level on points and goal difference with Club Bruges. I think that title, what on earth was that title decided by? Because Standard Liège had more victories and more goals. Must have been on a head-to-head ratio. No idea why they would have won the title otherwise. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments how Club Bruges won that title, but there you go. The year after that, again, Club Bruges champions, undisputed at this point. Anderlecht finishing down in 4th place. Definitely a team to watch after they won the first 5 seasons in the championship group, beating KRC Genk by a good 12 points in the end, making themselves very clear at the top. Standard Liège not making that top group, finishing down in 7th. The year after that, the title actually went to SDVV. This is where this championship group just really confuses me, because Club Bruges finishing top of a generic league table every year. This time they miss out by 4 points as STVV have a good championship finish to win the title. And then this season, STVV actually winning the title or league table and then the championship group, 5 points clear of Standard Liège. They've really come into their own somewhat. I think they've had a pretty meteoric rise. They actually got promoted in 14-15, so 15-16 was their first full season. They finished in 13th. Then the TV money started to kick in. A couple of 9th place finishes before rising up the table. Finished down in 7th, but then 3rd, and they won the title. So very interesting that they are starting to use their money quite a bit. I wonder what their finances actually look like at the moment. Just a little detour here. They've got £197 million in the bank. They don't have a sugar daddy or anything like that, but the chairman clearly willing to spend a little bit of money. And if we have a look at the transfer screen, drop back for 5 years, you can see that Bayern signed somebody from Standard Liège for £51 million, but Club Bruges breaking the Belgian transfer record, £35.5 million spent on a player. Next two were people leaving Bruges, which is probably why they had so much money available. They were able to spend another £25 million, then another £25 million, and another nearly £25 million. Huge transfers going out of Bruges, over £100 million spent, and more transfers down here as well. Absolute big spenders. Standard Liège also up there, no sign of Anderlecht once again. The year after that, Club Bruges again the biggest transfer, a few more in there as well, easily pumping out another 60 or so million pounds. No other teams even competing with Club Bruges on the amount of money being spent. The year after that, again, another couple of transfers for well over £50 million. Another one down here for up to 15. Standard Liège also spending about £50 million. So they are just undoubtedly the two big spenders of this league, putting the TV money where it really needs to go. Standard Liège actually losing a few players, but Club Brugge, the biggest Belgian transfer, £25 million, spent once again. And then this season they spend £28 million, but Standard Liège spent up to £53 million on Flipov, who is a Bulgarian player but looks pretty good. 16 finishing as a right winger is not a bad amount to have. I am interested in Club Brugge spending so much money. I want to see their transfer history. You can see they spent £114 million this season, but 168 went out. Year before that, 134 million, then 70 million, 100 million, 192 million pounds that season. That's a huge amount of money for a Belgian team. £100 million. They just really love to spend the cash. And if we look at their club details and their finances, they've still got £305 million to go. They're the only team really putting that money to good use in the Belgian league. If we have a look at its overview, you can see the Belgian league has jumped up from 8th to 6th, which should change the way that the positions are allocated. Now, I'm interested in, with the really confusing way that Belgian football does its system, I'm interested to know how they allocate the extra Champions League places. 3 teams got Champions League places, it would seem, this season. If you look at the Championship group, it doesn't really highlight how they are distributed. In the European places playoff, Anderlecht ended up winning that. But that's really interesting. They've now got 3 Champions League places, so they should be doing better in the Champions League. And I can see them rising further and further up. Now, if we take a look at the stages for the Champions League, we have to drop back 5 years to the 25-26 season. And then if we look at the first knockout round, obviously Club Brugge made it the year before, and they made it this year as well before getting knocked out by Atletico Madrid. But that is why they're jumping up those league places, because their teams are making the knockout stages. The year after that, again Club Brugge making it through, but this time beaten by Real Madrid, getting some really unfortunate draws in the Champions League. The year after that, again coming through, getting knocked out by Manchester City. And if they keep coming up against giants like this, they are going to struggle to make it out of the last 16. The year after that, pulling PSG out, another huge opponent, losing 4-1 on aggregate. And the year after that, they pulled out PSG yet again, getting beaten 4-2 on aggregate. They just cannot catch a break in the Champions League. If we look at the Europa League, they're much more likely to do better in this competition. I think if we drop back to the 25-26 season, and then look at the first knockout round to begin with, we'll see that Standard Liège were in there, got knocked out. 3 other Belgian teams in there as well. Waasland Bavaria knocked out by Fiorentina, but Lokeren beating Stoke. Anderlecht going out to Sevilla in the second knockout round. Lokeren actually knocked out Porto, making it into the quarterfinals. Lokeren out of nowhere having a run at this competition. They were then beaten by Leverkusen though, so that's a little bit disappointing. 4 Belgian teams in the knockout stages isn't bad. They got 3 the next year. Waasland Bavarian going through, Anderlecht going through, and Standard Liège getting knocked out. Second knockout round, any Belgian teams going through? Chelsea knocking out Waasland Bavarian, but Anderlecht beating Leverkusen to make the quarterfinals and then losing to Valencia, which is not ideal. This time we'll start the second knockout round. Genk beating Lyon, Standard Liège beating Roma, so 2 teams in the quarterfinals, where Standard Liège actually made the semi-finals. Another bit of progression. Genk getting knocked out in the semi-finals. Standard Liège beaten by Arsenal. Really unfortunate to come up against a team that big, but definite progression there for the Belgian teams. The year after, not so many teams through. Standard Liège went through against Everton, Genk went through against Marseille, and STVV went through against Schalke. In the quarterfinals, 3 teams in there for Belgium. STV went through, Standard went through, and Genk went through. Have they finally won a European competition? In the semi-final, Genk knocked out by STVV, Standard knocked out by Liverpool, but 3 Belgian teams in the semi-final of the Europa League. You can see that the progress is being made. And in the final, STVV beaten by Liverpool. How unfortunate is that? 3 Belgian teams in the semi-final, but they couldn't do the job and win the competition. Now, in the final season, for this episode at least, there were only 2 Belgian teams actually in at the last 16, and they both got knocked out. Standard Liège to Man City, which is understandable, but Mechelen knocked out by Wolfsburg. A little bit disappointing that after getting 3 teams to the semi-final stage, but what a job that would have done for their coefficients, managing to get them to raise up to 6th place in the Belgian Pro League. A very, very good run for them. Been there now for 4 years, and you can see them jumping above League but they need to make Champions League success before that will happen. They've now got 3 teams going into the Champions League, so they should begin to progress up that a little bit. The teams will get higher and higher reputations, so they'll bring in better and better players. But it's good to see that Club Brugge, for one, are spending an absolute fortune and really having a go at the European competitions as well. Now, I think that's going to be it for this part 2 of the experiment. Apologies if it's a bit short, but next time we will go 10 years into the future and see what real progress has been made domestically and in Europe, and how much money is being pumped in, because at that point every team will have had another £1 billion put into the club, and Belgium should really be the best league in the world at that point. But we'll have to see what happens. It's going to be slow progress until they start to get some Champions League success. But drop a like on the video if you're enjoying this experiment and you do want me to keep going forward. If you drop likes on the video, I know that you're enjoying it and do want to see more parts. Let me know in the comments if there's other things you want to take a look at, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see the next part in a couple of days' time. But until next time, see ya!